Welcome to today's Table Talk session. It's your sister Siobhan, and I hope you're excited about today's Table Talk. Today's Table Talk session is actually going to be our first book review, or my first book review that I'm going to be sharing. I like to read both fiction and nonfiction because I believe that we should definitely be growing our mind through knowledge. That's definitely the game with nonfiction books. Fiction books are just fun to read. The first book review that I'm going to be talking about is actually by Judge Lynn Toler, and I shared with my special announcement that I have a book called Family, Finances, and Finesse, which will be releasing on Amazon very soon. In the meantime, I like to read just to read for pure pleasure. I believe that growing your brain is essential, a part of finessing. And finessing is a term, or to finesse is a term that I actually talk about in my own book, Family, Finances, and Finesse. You want to grow or better yourself as a woman, as an individual. That's just my thoughts, my perspective. So, getting right into today's book review, this book again is by Judge Lynn Toler, and she's like my auntie that I've ever had. I have a great group of aunts, but she's that auntie that you go to for advice, especially when it comes to relationships. I like to watch Divorce Court, not because of the crazy relationships that are displayed, but I enjoy watching Divorce Court mainly because she gives great advice. She really does. She like is in my inner head a lot of times when I talk to my own sisters and we have conversations. A lot of things that she shares on Divorce Court are things that I often would share with my own sister. Like, I mean, really, it's like dope. Like, she's a dope individual, just saying. So I purchased her book off of Amazon, and the book is called Dear Sonali, Letters to the Daughter I Never Had. Now, background on Judge Lynn is that she is a judge on divorce court, but she worked outside of divorce court before being on divorce court, of course. Another portion of that is that her book is actually letters that are sharing what she would have wrote or told to her own daughter. The reason why is because she only has boys and she's in a blended family. Nevertheless, so she has a lot of boys, and so she had a great relationship with her mom, which is very cool to read about when you read the story, is her relationship with her mom, and that her mom basically was there for her whenever she was feeling like she couldn't handle things. Her mom was the person that helped her get out of that rut. And that's the beautiful thing about having a good relationship with your mom. Like, I know everyone doesn't have that role model status, or that mother who definitely was there for everything, or maybe not even that mother who is emotionally vested in their child, because relationships vary with the mother and daughter. But it was beautiful to see that, or to read that in this story. And even she has another book that is basically the things that her mother taught her, and she just writes about the different things that she learned from her mom. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Even as we're almost coming upon Mother's Day, that's something to think about. So the things that I liked about this book in general is that she deals with the mind, the body, the soul, and it's very much so like affirmations. Like, she just is over and over sharing about how valuable you are as a sister, as a woman, your value, and making sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you are growing inwardly and outwardly. And I look for things like that when I read, especially when it's coming from another woman and an older woman. It's always nice to have that wisdom from somebody telling you that you are valuable and that you matter. The book and the back of it, some of the cool things that I like about Judge Toler is that she actually has like catchphrases or things that she says in the show, just for example. And those, like, she'll have moments where she'll say something, you'll be like, man, I need to write that down. So like in the back of the book, she has a section that's called her Tolerisms. So basically, she just writes down different things that people have coined that they like, that she shared over time. One of the things that I like about this book is that she writes it from the perspective of a mother or auntie to us. And then on top of that is her addressing her own self. Like, she talks about how she was a shy or somewhat of a timid individual. And when you think about that as a personality, or that being her, she explains that that's her truth. That's who she is. She talked about how she liked to be to herself, how she didn't like to socialize or talk with people. And you have someone like that, but yet she's on a platform where she's publicly helping other people. Similar to myself, I'm an introverted extrovert. And what that means is a lot of times I like to be to myself. It takes a lot of energy for me to talk to people. Not that I don't like people. I love people. I love engaging and having conversations, but it drains me. Um, that's just my personality. So it's a time where I need to be introverted, and there's a time when I desire to be extroverted. So I'm an introverted extrovert. And the same thing with Judge Toler. She talked about dealing with anxiety in the story, and how when she dealt with anxiety, she would want to hide or want to um, not necessarily know what to do, and her mom would be there to kind of guide her out of that rut, out of that pit, so to speak. So that was a good part of this. She talks about money, and she gives good advice as far as in on relationships, and knowing when to spot like abuse, whether it be verbal or nonverbal, whether it be like physical abuse, just things like that. It's just the whole book itself is just full of good content. Like on TV or on YouTube when I watch her, I feel like she adds value to myself as a woman. When I read this book, I mean, and I'm going back to it just to get those good quotes and things that she mentions, like going back to referencing. Like, I'm going to put this on my bookshelf. Like, I like the book. It was a great read. It is a great read. So, if I had to give this stars, I got a 5 stars, I would give this a 5 out of 5 for sure. Again, this story is called Dear Sonali, Letters to the Daughter I Never Had, and it's by Lynn Toler. And I definitely recommend this book. If you're looking for a book that will help you to have affirmations to affirm you, to be authentically you, to be a better you, this is definitely a good read. If you're looking for encouragement, if you're looking for something that will help you with your relationships, with money, with stress, with how to manage your emotions. She even talks about that, talks about your emotions and making sure that you're in control of your feelings, of your emotions, and not letting your emotions run you, run your decisions, but being able to make sound decisions with a clear headspace. So I give it a 5 out of 5 for sure. So that's today's table talk session, and I'm chilling as I'm talking about the book because I'm just that comfortable with it. It was a good read. It was a good read. Now, again, I have written a book, and the book will be published on Amazon, as well as it'll be shared with other distribution channels. I will let you know when I receive my author's proof, and I will do an unboxing. I also will be doing some giveaways with the book. And last but not least, please don't forget to check out tabletalksessions.weebly.com. It connects the podcast as well as connects a blog that is being published and put out there. It connects the YouTube channel, so everything is kind of housed together, basically. So that was today's book review with Table Talk Session. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to Table Talk Sessions. You don't want to miss the upcoming content. All right, take care until next time. Peace.